Chicago! Welcome to the Chicago Sports Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download that app and use code CHGO when you sign up. Welcome to the show, everyone. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are here. I am Kevin Kaduk, head of content at CHGO, joined as always by Luke Stuckmeyer, Kacy Standohar, and Lawrence Benedetto. I am coming live from
Hey, there were no technical difficulties. Come on, that was totally perfect. No one knows what happened there. I just forgot to hit.
There have been difficulties.
I forgot to hit go live twice. I hit it once. I forgot you had to hit it a second time. That's my bad. No one knows that in the other part of the world. We're just a little late.
Gotcha. There have been difficulties here at the Kaduk household. We've gotten a little bit of the flu bug, so I am remote today. Luke, Lawrence, Kacy, how are things in the studio?
I'm just going to jump right in here because Luke brought us Jarish Bakery, and Jarish. I think it's pretty obvious now. Okay. I thought it was me that he was mad at, but apparently he just hates Kevin. Because
no, I forgot. I forgot Kevin wasn't in today, here. and I feel bad. So now I'm gonna have my day is gonna have to come around again because Kevin deserves to have the sweet taste of Jarish Bakery coffee cake.
So good.
It'd probably make the whole family feel better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It probably would. Everyone's doing well here. Thanks for asking, guys.
That's wonderful.
Good. That's good to hear. And so far, everybody's doing all right here. We're all having fun. Like weather-wise, I don't know how are they feeling well enough to at least go outside and see the sunshine a little bit today?
Yeah, had them out there raking some leaves, doing all that good stuff. So good. Enjoying the last day of spring as we prepare for summer. So we're good.
What a day.
Yeah. We've got a good show for everyone coming up, talking about Justin Fields and the Bears, talking about the Bulls, who are a little less exciting, talking about our baseball teams, who we're really not sure what's going on with them. But first we want to remind you that this Sunday we are doing another tailgate at the corner of Michigan and Roosevelt. $46 gets you in, get you some Goose Island beer, some Green Ridge Farm sausage, some music, some entertainment. It's going to be a lot of fun. Luke and I were out there last Saturday, and we had a good time. I was wearing my Claypool jersey, which was formerly a Mitch Trubisky jersey. And Luke was out there just kind of repping CHGO.
I was just trying to stay warm. The wind was so bad. You know, it's going to be cold this Sunday, but it looks like it's not going to be windy and it's going to be sunny. So,
but look at that donut.
It'll be good. Yeah. The clay, and I looked at that. That was a beautiful jersey you had on. It's great. We enforce recycling around here. We want everybody to recycle. You took your Trubisky jersey, which was once a Cordell Stewart jersey, which was once a P.T. Willis jersey, and now you've made it valuable again.
No, keep going. I want you to go back past
That's as far. Those are the only four people I can think of.
Yeah, he stops at Peter Tom Willis, right?
Yeah, P.T. Willis is as far back as I'm going.
Yeah. What's been pretty cool for these first two tailgates is actually seeing some of the opposing fans. There was a lot of Dolphins fans there on Sunday, and they had a good time. They were like, hey, this is pretty awesome. It's cool that we have a place to go. And people were like, man, Bears fans are really, really nice. And I was like, well, wait until you get into the stadium. But at the CHGO tailgate, we're nice.
Yeah. I mean, there were at least 15 to 20 Dolphins fans there, and one Raiders fan, although I don't know if he knew he was there.
No, I don't think so.
He just kind of drifted in. Yeah. He sort of drifted in with a ticket, and then he sort of drifted out a little bit.
My favorite
and then he drifted back in.
I definitely enjoyed, first of all, I enjoyed people saying, oh, I know you. I'm like, yes, of course. I'm the small head that pops on screen and yells at Mark Carman a lot. But I enjoyed just, again, meeting people from different countries even. I met these two guys from Toronto, Sebastian and Francesco. One's wearing a Tua jersey, one's wearing a Fields jersey. They're brothers. They came down from Toronto. I'm like, oh my God, did you get some good food already? And blah, 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 and then
there was a guy from Scotland there, although I didn't see him. And you told me to look for the guy in the kilt. Yeah. There was no guy in a kilt.
I know. You're like, how do I find a guy from Scotland? I'm like, I don't know. He's probably wearing a kilt. I don't know. That was my guess.
Maybe we'll see him next time.
Chilly.
Get your
chilly.
Get your tickets. It's going to be fun. I actually won't be there. I've got a family trip, but I will be there on December 4th when we're doing the same thing for the Green Bay Packers. And I got to tell you, Luke, I am like putting all my eggs in that basket. Like the Bears absolutely must beat the Packers that day. It could be Aaron Rodgers' last game. Let's hope it is.
You know,
We need to win.
I got to interject again. Braggs last night on the Twitter said that he wants that game to be flexed into primetime. Pump the brakes a little bit, Braggs. I don't need to be here till 1 a.m. I'm sorry. And that game's not the best game that weekend. I already looked at the schedule to see if that was going to happen. Way better games that we don't need. Yeah.
Why does the rest of the country want to see a team and the Bears have lost 5 out of 6 against the Packers, who also stink?
Yeah, no thanks.
They see that match enough.
So I said this on Twitter this week. I am willing to have every game. There's 8 games left. I'm willing to have 7 of them end up like Sundays did, a 35-32 loss. December 4th against the Packers is an absolute must-win. That's the only one I want the rest of the way.
I would.
Is that
own
fair?
him on.
I don't know. I'm not rooting for them to lose in the moment. And Adam Hogue had a pretty good segment on this on CHGO Bears this week. It's like, yeah, in the moment, you're never rooting for the Bears. Like that fourth quarter, I was going absolutely nuts. The pass interference call, I was going crazy, pissed off, whatever. Then they lost the game. And I was like, all right, well, now we moved into the top 10 for a draft pick. Right now, I think they're at number 8. So that's fine. Like, is everyone else on board? Like, hit 1 in the chat if you're on board with that. That's
100% I'm with that. Fields plays great. It's a high-scoring game every week, and they lose by a field goal. I'm totally cool with it. The only alternative to that would be, or split of that would be, like you said, I want him to beat Rodgers, especially if it's on his way out. So the last thing he remembers is losing to the Bears in ugly fashion. That's one. And then the other would be if Fields has the opportunity to win a game on the last play, I'll take that experience over 2 draft spots. You know what I mean? Like, if he can gain some kind of great experience, that was the disappointing thing about the non-pass interference call. It's like he was set up to lead a game-winning drive, and so that was taken away from him. But at least he went through the experience of getting them down into that territory. So to me, it was the perfect game. I hated it in the moment, like you said, but at the end, I was like, well, I can live with that.
Yeah, you do want to see the team know how to win and learn how to win. At the same time, I think that this is not the team that is going to. This is not the 2015 Cubs. This is not the 2008 2009 Blackhawks. It's like there's a lot of pieces that need to be added. Like next year might actually be the the 2005 Bears, right?
Yeah,
that's what we might be looking at next year, and then a year out from that, then you have really big hopes. Back to Aaron Rodgers real quick. What are the odds that we could get the Bears to sign Corey Wooten to a 1-day contract just for that, and then we'll have him go out there and ceremoniously end Aaron Rodgers' career? Is that something that's on the table?
No, the Bears don't even have to sign him. CHGO could just lend him for the day. Just be like, hey, he's not going to come in and do any work with us today. Instead of analysis on CHGO, Corey Wooten is going to be playing for you. And he's going to hurt Rodgers.
We still need him in on the studio Monday morning to talk about it. Okay?
Yeah, no, we talked about it on the show because the Bears' defensive front has been so awful in the last 3 weeks since the trades.
Yeah.
Carmen asked him, do you think you could still line up and play 3-tech? And he said, yes. Give me a week at the whatever gym up on the north side. He's like, I'm still pretty close. I could give you 20 snaps, 25 snaps.
He's not doing it for free though.
No, but if he's ending another Green Bay quarterback's career, let's have it happen. Let's do it. And then he'll come on the show Monday and tell us how.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
So Dude Love in the chat says, the guy from Scotland busted me trying to cut the washroom line. I was like, where did the Scottish guy come from? I love it.
Where do you think you're going in that porta potty?
So Dude Love, did you know that he was Scottish just because of the accent? I assume you were like, I can't even
was
do
he wearing a
Scottish
kilt?
accent.
What was I right that he was wearing a kilt? That's my question.
Are you headed to the potty for a duty?
Is that how Scottish people talk?
I don't know. Sounded Scottish. Was it close?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
giving her all she's got.
All right, let's get into headlines. We are leading off with the Taking Care of Business segment powered by ComEd. This week's winner is who else? Our man, QB1, Justin Fields. He is the NFC Player of the Week despite the loss. You guys know these stats by heart by now. 178 rushing yards, a new regular season record for a quarterback in NFL history. He's the first player in NFL history to throw 3 touchdowns and run for more than 175 yards. Absolutely incredible. He was just electric. And for the first time I can remember, I was just waiting for the Bears offense to get back on the field. I did not have a pit in my stomach. I didn't feel bad about myself. I did not feel bad about the team that I have rooted for my entire life. Like, we have the number 1 story in the NFL right now, Luke.
Yeah, it's the first time in my life since Jim McMahon was wearing the Roselle headband that I was proud of a Bears quarterback. Seriously, think about that. And I'm 50 years old. It's the first time since the Roselle headband where I was like, we've got a guy at quarterback that I can talk about and be excited. That's unbelievable. And he's so electric right now. And none of the people that were out there that were complaining about his soundbite where he said, I care about it more than even the fans care about it. Where are those people now? Nobody cares about. Have you heard anybody bring that comment up yet today? No, because the entire city is on board with Justin Fields. Yeah. He's gone from here to here.
I think we look back, and there have been times between this and Jim McMahon where there have been a couple of moments, right? Jay Cutler had his moments. Jay Cutler came in, you felt maybe good. Mitch Trubisky had his Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. There have been spots, right? But I think what makes it different is that what Justin Fields did on last Sunday and for the last 3 weeks, really, this is a modern day NFL offense, and all the credit in the world goes to Luke Getsy. And we've been saying, okay, look, the Bears need to get with what the NFL looks like in 2022, and with Justin Fields, they finally have that.
Most of my Cuddy excitement was when they made that trade. It started to dwindle once the interceptions and bad turnovers in the red zone started to happen. I'm not saying he certainly is one of the best quarterbacks in Bears history, which is a low bar, but this is as excited as I've been since Jim McMahon in the Super Bowl.
Well, Cutler could make passes, right? Cutler could find his spots, and obviously threw a lot of interceptions, but there was times when he'd hook up with Brandon Marshall or Alshon Jeffrey, and you're like, okay, this is good, this is fun. What Justin Fields is doing, though, just feels different because of what he's able to do with his legs. What a wild card he is. I mean, he has, we've talked ad nauseum all year. He does not have a lot around him. A fact that was underscored by, Equanimous St. Brown just dropping that 4th down pass. He is carrying the team. And that's, I don't think we've really seen, even going back to Jim McMahon, we haven't seen a quarterback carry a Bears offense ever.
I just tried to trade Justin Herbert for Justin Fields in fantasy football and got shut down immediately. Think about that going into this season. Like, I tried to pick him up on waivers a couple weeks ago. Yeah. It didn't happen. And now I tried to trade one of the hottest quarterbacks in football. Like, people think Herbert is one of the next all-time greats, and you can't get him. You can't give him away for Fields.
It's really crazy logging into daily fantasy and seeing Fields priced as one of the top priced quarterbacks. It's just such, I was looking, I'm in a really deep fantasy league, a 20-team fantasy league. And I was looking at drafting between Stafford and Fields, and I played it safe, and man, I am really kicking myself now. Yeah. But Justin Fields definitely was taking care of business on Sunday. So he gets this week's award. Luke, I do have a question for you, though. A month ago, we were sitting here talking, and it was a completely different conversation. It's like, is Justin Fields really what, the Bears need in the long term? Does he have, it was a very undefined conversation. It was filled with a lot of excuses. It was filled with some squinting, as Adam Hogue said in this week's newsletter.
Which was fair. It was fair.
Right. Absolutely fair. And now it's just a lot different. I don't think that we've ever seen a Chicago athlete change the narrative this quickly.
No.
My question for you, though, is who out there has changed their narrative in some decisive way?
Nobody to this degree that I can think of in any Chicago sport, right? Like, in 3 weeks, you had at least half the fan base saying, I think he's either a bust or he might be a bust, to we have potentially a top 3 quarterback. So that, I think, is unmatched in that period of time. Giolito for the White Sox was a guy who went from worst pitcher in baseball to like great, and now back to worst pitcher in baseball. So he's had the real roller coaster swing. I think back to Javi Baez being a guy they were high on as a prospect, coming up, striking out a ton, and then helping lead the Cubs to the World Series. But it wasn't as immediate or fast as this is. And I think you could say the same thing for Tim Anderson, who struck out 200 plus times and then was, competing for a batting title. It just wasn't as quickly because the baseball season is so long and so drawn out, and there's still so much failure even for good players. To me, it's unmatched.
So Chicago Bears quarterback, obviously that's just going to really tower over everything else. But the nature of the sport, as you allude to, is different because it's a one game and it's not over 162 seat. When it starts happening in baseball, it takes a little while. And even someone like Sammy Sosa, right? He became a superstar in 1998, but he was still hitting a lot of home runs in the years before that. I think he had 36 the year before and 40 in 1996. But it wasn't until like that 20 homer month in June of 1998. So I would say like maybe Sammy is up there, sort of. And
nobody was calling him a bust, right? There wasn't part of the fan base saying Sammy's a bust. That's why it's so crazy that he flipped a switch in 3 weeks, and everybody's on board.
Now I will say this, Luke. We got this from Justin Fields. Would it be completely greedy of me to ask that Patrick Williams do the same for the Bulls?
Oh my God, please, yes.
Would I like to see it? Please.
No. Would it be greedy of me to ask? Is that too much to ask? Patrick Williams, can you turn into Kawhi Leonard today?
It is too much to ask. It is, because
I don't know. I think
we've been asking.
Decent ask.
Here's why it's unfair. Because
Yeah.
every person in Chicago said, if I can have one thing, it's a Bears quarterback. That's all they want in sports. We can't agree on which baseball team we like. Some like hockey more than we like basketball. Everybody likes the Bears. The whole city likes the Bears. We all love the Bears, and we've never had a real quarterback. So if the sports gods give us that, then we have to accept the rest.
Well, that just sucks because I want Patrick Williams to be great.
I do too.
I have.
One guy.
Go ahead.
One guy bringing up Luke, and I don't have a really great memory of this, but I remember when the Bulls drafted Joakim Noah, everyone kind of came out and shit all over that pick.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was one of the few people actually write that they did like that, but if you remember Rick Morrissey, I forgot if he was at the Trib or the Sun-Times at that point, but he said that he would like eat the column if Joakim Noah turned out to be a star, and then he did a few years later. I don't remember really like what that narrative arc was for Joakim his first couple seasons.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. He did sort of flip the switch. I can't say it happened in 3 weeks, but remember, he was suspended by his own teammates for choking Ron Adams. Like, things did not start well for Joakim Noah. A lot of people didn't like the draft pick. I think Gray, the kid from Washington, was the other big man they were looking at. I was at that draft in New York when Joakim got selected, and I remember the reaction coming to me from Chicago saying, Joakim Noah, I don't like him.
It was the seersucker suit with the bow tie.
The seersucker suit. He's kind of a punk. He's a clown. A lot of honk on the radio, and then being suspended by his own teammates to then becoming the heart, hustle, and muscle of the team and an all-time fan.
Yeah, it's obviously nothing you would describe as meteoric, but I think kind of like when it comes down to it, I mean, from that to becoming an all-time Bulls legend, which I think he undoubtedly is a turnaround. It is kind of crazy. Like, the Bulls haven't really had anyone like that. I mean, even someone like, they've picked in the top 5 and top 10 so many times, and no one's really,
they've never had like a first-round draft pick or like a top, like you said, like top 10 draft pick that was supposed to be so great, stunk, and then instantly started delivering. Brad Sellers never did it. The Ben Gordons and the Kirk Heinrichs were just really good. They never burst onto the scene with like 3 straight games where you're like, oh, they're going to be the greatest player. We don't need Jordan anymore. Like, that's never going to happen. Derrick Rose was good from the beginning.
Yeah, it ain't Derrick Rose. He was just awesome.
You know, if D Rose would have been drafted and stunk at the beginning and then burst onto the scene and won Rookie of the Year or been a great player in his second season after struggling all of his first year, then that would be the comparison. But D Rose was good right out of the gate.
All right, so I got a couple for you. This maybe is a caveat, but what about a guy like Dennis Rodman or Bob Probert who came from the evil side and then when they came here immediately they turned it around in my
That's
eyes.
true.
I don't know.
Rodman was hated until he
that's
signed.
That's a different thing. I mean, I agree with you.
All right, well then, okay, so then I'm going to go.
It just wasn't their play that necessarily did it. They just like,
so I've got the perfect answer. Unfortunately, it goes the other way. It goes from good to bad. You're mean Mercedes.
Oh.
I mean, come on. He was amazing and then swung on a 3-0 fastball and hit a grand slam, and then Tony La Russa ruined his career.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of, remember like how Gordon Beckham started out, right? You thought you had something in Gordon Beckham, but
I mean, I guess Gordon Beckham, but Yermin was batting like 600 and then all of a sudden was in the minors. Dylan threw a super chat our way.
I love it.
And he says, Dylan? Sideshow Noah. Yeah, I remember those days. Looking like.
Didn't they make a bobblehead of Joakim Noah in that suit on draft day? Like, that's something I need to own.
Well, he was at the game last night, wasn't he?
He was at the game. I think it was a few nights ago with Kukoc.
Yeah,
and that picture of the two of them together was just warm to my heart.
If he doesn't end up on the CHGO Bulls set this year, I would be surprised. I feel like that's going to happen.
Okay, Joakim.
Wow.
I have no inside knowledge. I've not instructed anyone, but
there's just a lot of begging.
So much. Let's do it, man.
There's been a lot of begging going on.
Let's go.
All right, let's talk about the Bulls a little bit. They dropped a close one to the Pelicans last night, 4-point loss. They are 6-7 and sit 6th in the Eastern Conference. They can't win a close game. Will Gottlieb wrote this morning on allchgo.com that they are 0-6 in clutch games. Now, Luke, a clutch game is defined as a game that's within 5 points in the final 5 minutes, and they just can't get it done. They were 25-16 in clutch games last year, so to be in a hole like this is pretty uncharacteristic. For a team with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, shouldn't they be better? And obviously Zach hasn't played in all of those games, but
they're just two guys, though. They were outplayed by the stars of the Pelicans in the final 5 minutes of the game. That was the difference in the game. Like, their stars were better in the final 5 minutes than the Bulls stars were, period. Like, that's what happened. But this is who they are. Just two guys aren't enough. The other guys have to be good around them, especially when the two guys aren't quote-unquote superstars. They aren't top 5 guys in the league, you know?
Right.
So this is what they are. We sat here last week, and everybody was hyped about their record, and Uncle Buzzkill here said, wait a minute, they're going to lose to the Celtics, and they're going to lose to the Raptors, their next two, and everybody's, oh, that's not going to happen. I said, they're going to lose those two, and sure enough, what have they lost, 3 or 4? That's just who they are. They are not. Stop believing they are a top 4 seed, and unless we get this Patrick Williams miracle growth, we're an 8 seed.
Wait, is Miracle Grow a new sponsor? I love Miracle Grow.
Oh, Miracle Grow is nice. We could do a Joakim. What was Chia Head? Remember you plant the seeds. No, but I just don't. I think you're going to have a roller coaster season with the Bulls, and if you sit back and zoom out a little bit, you'll realize they just aren't. They don't have the personnel to be a top 4 seed. It just
doesn't seem like a very. The construction of the team just seems to be lacking, and that's even with Goran Dragic being looking like a steal of the offseason.
Yeah,
the way that he's been able to play now. Can he stay healthy all year? I don't know. Andre Drummond's already had issues sticking in the lineup. At least they're not as dislikable, right?
Yeah, Io's been great. Dragic has been great. Like all of those things. The bench is really good, but again, you're not in contention for an NBA title or a top seed unless you have superstars who are playing at a superstar level. And although you get DeMar playing great games and Zach gives you great games, and sometimes they give you superstar games, those two guys alone are not enough. Not in the NBA today. There's too many good teams.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Sorry.
hoping for better things. But yeah, we're looking at, and look, it's not like we were expecting a 50-win season out of them. So once you start talking about not a 50-win season, you're talking about looking at 500. So
yeah,
maybe that's what we're looking at. Hopefully they are able to put together a couple good weeks and give themselves a cushion, because once the games really start to pile up, I think they're going to be in trouble. So
now, and by the way,
football.
real quick, Patrick Williams did have some nice defensive series against Zion, who had dominated him before. So at least defensively, he showed you a little something last night where you were like, okay, I can get on board with that. So, there's still hope.
There's some miracle growth there.
If Justin Fields can turn it around, Patrick Williams can turn it around. So let's get to Illinois football real quick. They just dropped to 7-2 after we talked them up last week. They lost to Michigan State. They play Purdue on Saturday on Senior Day. They are 6.5-point favorites, and they're looking to wrap this Big Ten West up. But I don't know. They put some doubt into our hearts with that loss to the Spartans. And the Spartans were coming off like that game where they just beat the crap. They jumped the Michigan Wolverines, and somehow we're able to still get it together. So,
Kevin, you said we talked them up. You and Lawrence talked them up. I did not. I was, again, Uncle Buzzkill last week, and I said, guys, come on. It's the Illini. They're good. They're better than they were, but if you think they're one of the top two teams in the Big Ten, they're not Michigan. They're not Ohio State.
Wait, did I say they were good?
I'm just telling you, I said last week, they're a better team.
I think we need to check.
You were worried they were going to lose to Northwestern, not they were going to lose Michigan State.
Well, how did they look?
I mean,
they look good.
Brutal. That was bad. That was a typical Burt situation.
And by the way, Northwestern almost beat Ohio State.
They didn't almost
thinking
beat
Northwestern could beat Illinois still this season, don't count your chickens yet, Illini fans.
Bok.
Just saying. I'm just saying. They're a good college football team. They are not a great college football team, and good college football teams lose games all the time. It happens.
All right, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve save money and energy. ComEd offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, whether it's lighting, HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes. An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. I got to tell you, Luke, if they came and did an assessment here, they would just be like, hey, follow your girls and your wife around and just switch off all the lights as they leave. I'll tell you that much.
I know that.
Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on immediately. Each recommendation will include estimated energy savings, cost savings, project costs, potential incentives, and simple payback. Now, don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy saving tips and to schedule your free facility assessment, go to comed.com/poweringbiz. That's B-I-Z. And if you're ready to sign up for a facility assessment, call them at 1-855-433-2700 during normal business hours to speak with a ComEd Energy Efficiency Program rep. Or you can email businessee@comed.com and request an assessment online at their website at comed.com/facility assessment.
Do you have all LED lights yet at the duck pond or the duck blind? What do you call your house?
The duck blind.
The duck blind. I think that's what you should call it.
House
of the duck. House of the duck. Okay. Yeah, I mean, LED lights, big difference maker. I switched over already. I love them. By the way, our next partner, something I've been using every day now since April. I didn't have time, wanted better gut health, more energy, and optimized immune system. I love it. It doesn't taste super healthy, but it is super healthy, and it's got a mild tropical taste. So here's what it is. 1 scoop of AG1, you absorb 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. A special blend of ingredients supporting your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all those things. There's practically nothing else left it can impact. I get a boost of energy, so I go first thing in the morning, AG1, and there I go. Giddy up, straight into traffic. Lifestyle friendly, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, you're all good with AG1, and you're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance for less than $3 a day. That's right. Recommended by professional athletes, more than 7,000 five-star reviews. So right now, reclaim your health, arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. You don't have to fill your hands with a pile of pills to look out for your health or supplements. It's easy. And to make it even easier, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Cubs or CHGO Sox or CHGO, whatever your team is. I say CHGO Cubs. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/CHGO Cubs to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. CHGO Bears would also work right now, by the way.
Hello. All right. About that time again. Roll stoppers with Standohar. Seat warmer. Kacy Standohar in my spot.
This chair.
How's that spot right there?
Pretty nice. I got my feet up. Very comfy. Sorry you're not here, but I'll give it up next week or whenever you're back.
Are you
up on the furniture?
Are you in the Carmi V pose?
I'm not in the Carmi V pose. I should be. I have my feet up on the chair because if my 5'3" short legs won't touch the ground, they dangle like Ryan, me and Ryan.
Wow.
Short people probs.
Shout out Ryan.
It's
Ryan
fine.
accepts it. It's all right.
It's fine. Hi, guys. I'm back.
What's
This
going-
is Scroll Stoppers. Let's talk about what's happening on social media this week in Chicago sports and in sports in general. Our first video, I think this is art. This is so cool. It's a time-lapse video of a helicopter putting in the lights at Wrigley Field this week, new lights. And the way that they go in, I'm just like amazed at how flawless it is.
Gives me an upset stomach.
Why?
As someone who doesn't like heights a whole lot, the top of the stadium is just too high. I don't want to be the person like standing on the roof directing the lights as they're coming out of the helicopter. The only thing I like about it is that they're LED lights.
Oh.
Shout out to ComEd. But the rest of it, makes me a little nervous.
Awesome. Like they don't need like people fixing it. It's just like psh, they just put it in there and it's done. This video is really cool too. I mean, there's music on both of these videos if you guys check them out.
Settle down.
On social media, but we can't put them on YouTube. So just watch and enjoy. It's so cool how this is happening.
Let there be light.
The
It's
thing
so
that
cool.
just sometimes it just kind of blows my mind how many different kinds of jobs there are, right? And like
Yeah.
how difficult some jobs are. And like I just kind of want to know, like, how did someone say, like, I'm going to be the helicopter pilot that flies over Wrigley Field and gets the lights in? Have you guys ever seen, like, when they'll have, like, multiple helicopters bring in, like, the huge HVAC systems and put them on top of the buildings?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Oh, it's so
What if it
cool.
fell?
But I mean,
Look at these
Scary.
dudes.
the helicopter guy, fine. Look at these guys. They're like up on the.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the guys I'm terrified to be. I can't even. I'm getting sick thinking about it.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason why
But
we're
there's
not doing
guardrails
this.
up there. Those guys are fine.
Yes, Kacy. There's
Yeah,
a reason
sure.
that you've got your feet up on a table and you're not.
I don't care if I had bungee cords and straps all around me protecting me from falling. I'd still be terrified to be standing up there. I don't like it.
Aren't you Maverick? What are we talking about here? Come on.
Well, I'm not afraid in the helicopter, and I'm not afraid in an F-18 either.
Oh, okay.
So that's a
because-
cool video. I love it. That makes me
Shout
excited.
out to Cubs Ball Hawk for shooting that.
Yeah, and also it makes me excited for baseball season, which is still quite far away.
Yeah, that's
But
not even close.
It's fine. It's something to hold us over. All right, now it's time to talk about flipping the bird, which I still think is one of the funniest things and most immature things that you could do. But we have a picture, of Nikola Vucevic giving the middle
Vooch.
finger.
Vooch
Oh,
got
Vooch.
caught. Yeah.
Hey.
He got caught last night during the game.
Who was this
throwing up the
directed
bird.
at?
I don't know who it was. I don't know.
I think possibly what happened is he just put the wrong finger up. He meant to do the
Oh, yeah.
Matumbo, the wave, the finger back and forth, and he just threw the wrong finger
Yeah.
up.
I mean,
He's a family man.
Clearly, it was at Brandon Ingram for dropping like 40 against them or whatever he did. He just killed the Bulls down the stretch last night. It was ugly.
But the thing is, it got us thinking about all the other
Yeah.
athletes that
Birds, yeah.
Remember
have
other
gotten caught.
famous birds in the city? If anyone wants to throw any in the chat, please do. But we thought of course, David Ross this past summer.
double.
Yeah, that was the double
The
bird.
double bird.
Birds in the sky, let them fly.
That was beautiful. And then if you go further back, we had
Ozzy.
Ozzy in the. I think that was actually at Wrigley, right? That was in the Cubs dugout. if I'm not
Potentially after
mistaken.
his interview.
Yeah, and then obviously the one that everyone has framed 8x10 in
Dicka.
every bar, is the coach. Look
I
at
mean,
the coach.
he's just like walking while doing it. Like
Just
he doesn't give.
He's at the Soldier Field there, like, hey, I got you right here.
So
That's
that
amazing.
was 4 right there. The 5th one would have been me had I won the Powerball.
Yes.
Oh.
Then
Yeah.
I would have given you.
To everybody at work.
Everybody
I'm
would have
done.
had the double bird, and I would have
I
picked
believe-
up my bag of
I believe
cash and
Kevin's
left.
looking for his photo right now of Ditka, isn't he?
So it's somewhere, right? I found that, and it's on a plaque, and it says, like, Mike Ditka says the Bears are number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
Amazing.
right.
I feel like you should have done this an hour ago.
Oh, you know what? It
Well, I
wasn't.
didn't. I forgot that I had it. And the funny thing about it is, I bought it at a garage sale, and I brought it home, and the inside is just so yellowed by smoke. It's absolutely disgusting. It's like, why did I
my
buy
God.
this?
Do you remember? It wasn't the bird, but there was a Coach Q, I believe, in the playoffs where he grabbed his crotch
Oh,
to
yeah.
yell at
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
referee.
we don't need to show that. but
No,
yeah.
we don't need to show it. I'm saying
We're
that
just talking about the
that,
bird.
To me, that takes giving the bird to someone, and that you upgrade. You've taken it another level at
Oh,
that point.
it's an
I still think
upgrade,
that
yeah.
giving the middle finger is the fun. It's funny, but it's also so immature.
Right.
Like, why
Why that
do we do
finger?
it? Why do we go to that point where you're like, this is what I'm going
uh-oh.
to do next?
I think
Right. If I give this, if I do this, that different. Doesn't mean anything.
correct. That is correct.
Amazing. Love it. All right. Our second to last tweet we are talking about today is this trend on Twitter going on right now. These are fun. Twitter Blue is now something that Elon Musk is really pushing in the Twitter world,
He's
which
ruining, basically.
us social media managers are not happy about. You get that blue check mark. You pay to have it now. Everyone can have it. Fake news all over the place. The biggest thing is people are kind of spoofing these two versions of verification because you have your verification for notable figures, sports athletes.
This is
and
the
then-
old way, right? This is
Yeah.
you're verified because you're actually a real thing, and so you do that. So our Blackhawks guys said, okay, yeah, remember this jersey?
Yeah,
That
you're a
was
notable person, place, or thing.
Yeah, that's a
Here's
throwback.
notable jersey.
Now you could just pay $8 a month, and then you get this, which is their reverse retro this year.
I also saw one. I could not find it, but
not
it was
good.
one where the notable figure, like Twitter Blue message, was next to a real photo of Aaron Rodgers, and then the paid one was next to the guy they keep showing every game, his lookalike. Also,
Me?
Lawrence
I
could be the $8 version of
I
Aaron
am
That's
immunized.
that's what we need to do. Actually, I mean, no, we should make Lawrence the verified, and then Aaron Rodgers the $8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
way things are
Sure.
going, yeah, I
someone
agree.
pay for my account. Yeah, don't pay.
I've already figured out how I'm going to do it. Like at some point, somebody got me the blue check mark, and I have a blue check mark, but there's no way I am paying $8 a
No.
month for a blue check mark on Twitter because who cares? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print the blue check mark, and I'm going to hold it up as next to my face in the photo.
That works.
Stop that, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna-
you're blocked just by saying that.
Yeah, but I'm actually going to buy a Luke Stuckmeyer account and get it verified and just start tweeting like really bad things from it. What are you going to do to stop that?
Well, let me tell you that it's a poor investment because nobody cares that there's a check
Yeah,
mark.
exactly.
You're wasting your money. If you're buying a lottery
just-
ticket, at least you have a shot at something.
I'll just be like, Luke's, I don't know, what would it be? Like
Suckmeyer, just take out the T. Take out the T.
Suckmeyer.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like he's heard that before. I don't know.
I've heard some versions of it for
Yeah.
sure. You can
Luke
imagine.
Suckmeyer, the Chicago Cubs have traded for Shohei Ohtani, and then everyone gets
Yeah.
retweeted. And
This is good. This could be like a spoof we do like on CHGO, like a false account.
Yeah, sure.
via Luke.
You also could do the Meyer part instead of Meyer. You could do Myer. Nobody'd know the difference.
Yeah.
I'm not encouraging people because, again, like, the real version's not that exciting. Why would you want to be the fake version?
I've had to do that a couple of times where it's like, wait, how does Luke do his name? And then, you go into Google and you wait for the autofill and just hope that's kind of right and just go with that.
Yeah, I definitely have had to ask a couple times. There's an E in there, right? It's M-E-Y?
Jeez, and here I thought I was so famous that I was infamous.
Can I talk about that? Can I talk about that Hawks jersey? I've kind of come around on it. Zawoski,
What?
You are?
one
See,
in real life.
take your temperature. Take your temperature. You could be sick. He's delusional.
No,
I'm not saying I'd pay full price for it. If I see that sucker on clearance, I'm buying.
Yeah, the only way I can explain this is Kevin must have 105-degree fever now.
Yeah,
the fever's getting to him. He's speaking
He
in
should stay home
tongues. He's
longer.
delusional, hallucinations.
Yeah.
I mean, Kev, that
Now he's
jersey
looking
is
at that jersey
awful.
thinking, well, that's a sweet sweater.
Look,
Cool. They wrote Chicago in block letters. Wow, amazing.
I bought a Mitch Trubisky jersey. My judgment isn't the best.
Yeah,
That's true.
Not good.
Oh,
That
man.
is true.
Our last CHGO clip of the week. Excited to bring this one to you guys. We had Zach Gilford on the CHGO Bulls show with Peck and Big Dave. He is one of the stars of Friday Night Lights, the TV show, and he was QB1 for years. But he explained to Matt and Big Dave that somebody really important has never heard the phrase QB1. So take a listen.
Are you willing, and I don't know if you saw his performance against the Dolphins this past Sunday, but Kev wants to know if you are willing to formally present the QB1 title to Bears quarterback Justin Fields, because that's a title that you've held for a really long time now.
Well, first of all, yes, I'm pumped on Justin, and I think we can just get the right scheme and things to go on. He'll be great. We haven't put him in the best situation thus far. However, this is a great story. Peyton Manning. One time, Scott Porter ran into Peyton Manning, and he basically was like, "Oh my God, I love it!" And we have the offensive line over to the house every Tuesday night to watch the show, and blah blah blah. So he was like a huge fan watching while it was on. I think it was the only problem I have with this show is I've been the starting quarterback my whole life. I've never heard the term QB1. I was always just the quarterback.
Wow,
So,
I'm stunned.
I get maybe
So-
that's just a small town Texas thing.
I guess. Yeah, well, that's Pittsburgh, but we'll take it. But yeah, Justin, you can be QB1. You want any pointers? You can get my number somehow, and we'll figure this out.
Awesome.
Yeah. Matt Saracen handing over the QB1. Took it from Jason Street.
That
Ran
was a
with it.
question I ordered the Bulls fans to ask him.
Yeah.
The Bulls.
Good
That was a
question,
good one.
They
Kevin.
did a good job with it.
That's fun.
I'm glad that interview was remote, because had Matt Saracen actually come into our office, I may have embarrassed myself. That's one of my favorite shows. He's my favorite character on that show. And
Saracen
it
was your
would've
favorite
gotten
character.
on.
Whoa,
Wow.
Saracen. I mean,
Over Riggins, huh?
over Buddy Garrity?
Yeah.
What are we doing
Over Buddy
here?
Garrity?
Come on.
Lila Garrity?
Oh, Lila.
What about
Hell yeah.
Coach Taylor?
Yeah.
Nobody liked Tammy Taylor, but that's another story.
Wait a minute. We didn't like Coach Taylor's wife? Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
she was whining all the time.
Oh, my gosh.
Always whining.
Well, Luke, you and I are from different places.
Tammy
apparently.
Taylor was always whining.
Yeah.
I didn't like that character.
It was-
But clear heart,
Everyone
clear eyes,
check
full
out that
hearts
show,
can't
though.
lose.
Yeah, Zach did an awesome job, and he's a big Bulls fan, and he's got a new Friday Night Lights rewatch podcast coming out with Jason Street and Mae Whitman.
Yeah, and
So-
hopefully
cool.
Kacy will be listening to that while she first time watches
I
Friday
do
Night
need
Lights.
to. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
No, you'll love that. It's
I'm
it's an
excited.
amazing.
Would you be in on a reboot? Would you be on a
No.
reboot like them,
No.
like now in their adult lives?
No, just watch the damn show already. Come on.
I mean, I've seen. What do you mean? I've seen it
Again,
multiple
just watch
times.
it again. I'm
I will
saying.
watch it. I will watch it and report back on a future CHGO podcast.
What about
The
all
whole
new
thing.
characters? And Coach Taylor's back at it.
Oh, yeah. North Dillon and South Dillon. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. All right. Well, that was Showstoppers.
right.
Scroll Stoppers.
Thanks,
guys.
Kacy.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
See ya.
All right, Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. If you've ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could, like the 50-yard line, courtside, behind home plate, floor seats at a concert, it is all possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy, and you will not find a better deal this season or anywhere. Game Time is created by the fans for the fans, and it guarantees the lowest price. If you love CHGO, then you will love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events, like some of these upcoming Bears games. I know a lot of people are going to be wanting to go out and see Justin Fields in person. I think I might try to have to get out to that Packers game, so I will be using the Game Time app.
Very nice. I keep thinking about QB1. I wonder who's going to be in QB1 after this. They never understood why sunglasses were so expensive. Shady Rays. So they set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this fall or this winter because our friends at Shady Rays, they've got you covered. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. The best part about Shady Rays, they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. Lost and broken replacements. You got me, right. You heard me. Don't stumble and try to rewind it. If you lose or break your Shady Rays one day, they told us they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Dropped in the lake? No big deal. Off a cliff? No big deal. They will replace them. Even with that strong of a protection program, they still manage to make quality that I can tell you, holding in my hand, seems just as good as any expensive pair of sunglasses I've ever worn. Shady Rays customers seem to agree with over 200,000 five-star reviews. Shady Rays also providing 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed, and they have donated over 20 million meals to date. Now that is really cool. They stand behind their product. They told our team that if anyone has a problem, they're going to throw profit out the window and do what's right to get it right. Free returns and exchanges. You either love the shades or Shady Rays is shipping them back. That's it. Exclusively for our listeners right now, Shady Rays running their deepest deal of the season using the code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Oh, man, who needs Black Friday? Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54 right now. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades. I got a couple coming in the mail right now myself.
I'm excited.
I love it. That's a great deal.
It's unbelievable.
With summer here in Chicago, you're going to be wearing them all the time.
For winter here, when
all the snow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking of? Even I told the guys I like to go fishing too. You don't want that glare coming from behind off the water. I do the wraparound sunglasses. I don't do the Tom Cruise risky business style.
Well,
I like those, but I'm just saying if I'm doing something,
I've seen pictures
or golfing or whatever, I like
you
it.
do the Tom Cruise. I've seen pictures.
Well, I mean, people say I look like Tom Cruise, but that's another podcast. We don't want to get into that.
that
NBA fans, the season is in full swing. Basketball is back, and so you might want to check out DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Now check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped-up same-game parlay today. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA. I'm going to be firing up the app during action this weekend and betting all these stepped up same game parlays where it makes sense. Anyway, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code CHGO and make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Quick update, Kevin, from the Chicago studios. It is warm enough officially now that Naked Guy is back having a heater on his deck. So you know it's a nice day.
Hey, before we get into our final segment here, want to make sure to everyone listening on YouTube right now, hit that like button. It allows us our show to be discovered a little bit more. And also, if you're listening to this, either on YouTube or a podcast, if you go and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, screenshot that, hit me up in my DMs on Twitter, and I'll send you maybe a couple CHGO stickers or something like that. So we could definitely use a few more reviews and appreciate all that. Appreciate everyone who listens. So, all right, let's get into Stuck in Duck time. That song still slaps even when I'm at home. I love it.
Yeah, it's
all right. Real quick before we go here, Luke, let's talk about hot stove season. I think it's officially here with the Astros and Dusty Baker wrapping things up last Saturday night. News not good out of White Sox Nation. It looks like they're staying at around $180 million. Rick Hahn at the GM meetings this week says, look, if we're going to do something, we're probably going to have to do on the trade market. Not going to be spending a lot of money. And so now I think the Sox fans are pissed off. Where do they go from here?
Both sides of town are bracing to revolt at the end of this offseason, right? Like if the Sox don't do something, and it sounds like he's saying, we're not spending, we're not adding Correa so we can move Tim Anderson to second or put Correa at second. Like, listen, this is what they did last season, and it didn't work. It wasn't all Tony La Russa's fault. You needed another player. And if you're going to have to trade Liam Hendricks to add a player of substantial skill level, you're not adding to your team. You're just swapping one out for the other. And that's, while I think they need to do that potentially with a couple players, they also need to add something. Clearly, they need to add something. And so if this is Jerry's path, then he's just given up on the White Sox. He's given up on them because they're clearly not that far away. They have some talent, but this is when you add and you go chips in. You're an old guy. Go chips in and win it. Don't sit there and say, well, if we get lucky and our chemistry changes and everything comes back perfect and, everybody has their best season ever, we might win the World Series. Well, good luck to you. And the same goes for the Cubs. Like, everybody thinks this is going to be the big spending offseason, and I heard Jesse Rogers say on the radio yesterday that he's not so sure they're going to be getting one of these big shortstops. And John Heyman is saying on Twitter, they're talking to this. We've heard him say they've talked to Boris, so that means they've talked about Correa, they've talked about Bogarts, they're talking to Abreu today. We haven't heard anything about Turner, but a lot of big names coming up. Okay, great. Yeah. But today is the day you can start signing players. 4:00 Chicago time today. Surprise me. Go out, overwhelm somebody with an offer, and bring them in so that other free agents are drawn to your team. Enough of this mid-level guy. Like, you can't just keep bringing in good players. You have to have some superstars. You have to. Yeah. You can't just win with good players.
It's frustrating. They have good players. They have role players. They don't really have, like, the guys who have really stepped up. And that's not to say that they need to go out and spend, $500 million on Shohei Ohtani, but there are people to be had out there. You may have to, spend extra money. And look, the joke's going to be on Jerry Reinsdorf. If you really hold pat and you try to sell people on whoever this year's version of AJ Pollock are, well, you're going to have 10,000 people in stands all season long. And that's going to hurt your bottom line. If you're the Cubs and you do that, look, no one's going to pay for a marquee network. No one's going to tune into a marquee network. You're not going to be able to get as many, as much money for your ads. So this is all sort of the thing. And maybe they're slow playing their hand and they don't want to say, hey, look, we're spending crazy, because that's not going to help when you're sitting down with an agent who's going to have dollar signs in their eyes. But hopefully that is part of it. But, I think we also sort of know better as Chicago baseball fans.
That's a good point. They're not going to probably say anything else. But also, Boris isn't going to say anything else. He's got some big-name players, so he's not going to say, well, I don't think the Cubs are – of course he's going to come out and say, yeah, the Cubs have turned the corner. They're going to start paying some players, and somebody's telling Heyman that too. So I'm optimistic, but, boy, if both teams don't do it, there are going to be some angry baseball fans. After the last 2 seasons, there are going to be some angry fans going into next year, and that's not the way you want to start the season.
We need something to be excited about this offseason. We need something to warm us up. We need more than just time-lapse videos of the lights being replaced by a helicopter at Wrigley Field.
Justin Fields. We have Justin Fields.
We have
and
Justin Fields, and all that matters.
And losing enough games to get a top 10 pick.
All right. We appreciate everyone tuning in to CHGO, the Chicago Sports Podcast. Hey, we have our game preview going on right now at CHGO Bears. So if you're done with this, go jump over there. Give Will and Nick a call. Check that out on the CHGO Bears podcast feed. And again, if you leave us a review here on the Chicago Sports Podcast, hit me up with the screenshot on my Twitter at Kevin Kaduk, and I'll send you a little something in the mail. We really appreciate you listening as the show continues to grow. Luke, I will not see you next week. We'll have to figure out what goes on for Thanksgiving week, but looking forward to the next baked goods delivery. I will not forget this.
You can hold me to it. And also, please show up to the tailgate. Get your tickets for those of you that are going to be in town this weekend. Tailgate. We'll have a good time. Bears, Lions. Get ready for Justin Fields. $46. All the food and booze that you can handle. 8:30 to 12 o'clock. I'll be there. We're going to have a good time. Highly
Bear
recommend
down,
it.
everyone. We'll see you next week.
See ya.